Go.
Hi animal friends, and welcome to HES Storytime. My name's Janine and this is Bo Round. He's got kind of a funny name. I'm not quite sure what kind of dog he is. He's like a big dog and a little short stubby dog body, but he's very sweet. We think he's about 2 or 3 years old, and he's gonna hang out and be in our story or be with us while we read our story today. We're outside today because it's very nice out, but it's still hot, so he's panting quite a bit. But he's such a good little boy. Yeah. Alright, well today our story is called The Dog Who Belonged to No One. And this story was written by Amy Hest and illustrated by Amy Bates. So Amy Bates drew all of the pictures as the illustrator. So this little dog on here reminds me of this little guy here, because what I hear is he was running for about a year before he found his way to the shelter. So these two have a lot in common, and you'll find out in the story. All right. Good boy. All right. Are you ready? Once there was a small dog with crooked ears. He belonged to no one. There he is. So cute. And once there was a wisp of a girl named Leah. The dog who belonged to no one was a perfectly nice fellow with a perfectly nice temperament. He was not a loud barker, nor was he a biter, jumper, fussy eater, or grumbler. It's pretty cute. Leah lived with her mother, who was a baker, and her father, who was a baker, in a crooked little house on the edge of town. It always smelled wonderful there, like bread in the oven and cake. The porch had a soft nightlight. The dog who belonged to no one tried hard to be helpful every day. When the baseballs of summer sailed into the woods, he found the baseballs. When the air turned cold and mittens went missing, he found the mittens. Not that anyone took notice of a small dog with crooked ears. Oh, look at that. Come here, buddy. Come on. I know it. Hi. Every Sunday, the busiest day for bakers, Leah saddled up her bike with fine breads and gorgeous cakes to deliver them to town. She is. The dog, who belonged to no one, spent his days quite alone, exploring the narrow streets and wide boulevards of town after town, and all through the changing seasons. He longed for a friend. There were many high hills, and Leah pedaled very hard. Her legs grew tired. To make herself feel less alone, she thought up stories as she pedaled. The stories were like friends on her long ride to town. Looks like they both are wishing that they had a friend. Come here, buddy. As day turned slowly to night, the dog who belonged to no one tried to outrun the night. Run, run, run. But a small dog could not outrun the night. As the dark grew darker, he trembled, he shook. To make himself less lonely, he pictured a yard and a porch with a soft light. He pictured a cozy corner where he could tuck himself inside himself and dream of belonging to someone. Poor little guy. And as day turned slowly to night, Leah pedaled all the the way home, pedal, 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 to the crooked little house, where she climbed into bed and tucked herself inside herself and dreamed. One Sunday morning, a storm whipped into town, a great big Sunday soaker. The dog, who belonged to no one, tried to outrun the storm. Run, run, run! At that very moment, on that very Sunday, a wisp of a girl was racing home. Pedal, pedal, pedal. But the small dog could not outrun the storm. How wet he was, soaked to the bone. Leah was soaked right to the bone as well. Hi, you. He shook, he shivered, he dripped. When the wind blew, his crooked ears blew. There he is. He's hard to see, but he's little tiny running through the streets. Right there. She shook, she shivered, she dripped. When the wind blew, her hair blew too. And there, where's she at? There she is, riding her bike, trying to get home. The dog, who belonged to no one, ran and ran to the edge of town and onto the porch of the crooked little house. Leah pedaled and pedaled to the edge of town, right to the porch where her parents were waiting, and a small dog was waiting, and the soft light was on. And there she is, and there he is. Inside, there was bread in the oven and cake, and the towels were warm. I don't know, but those two look very happy. In time, the dog, who belonged to no one, stopped shivering. Leah stopped too. They both had cake. Afterward, he tucked himself inside himself on Leah's chair. As day turned to night, he dreamed, and in his dream, he had a friend. When he woke up, Leah was there. "Hello," she said, and she stayed right there, telling him a story about a wisp of a girl and a small dog with crooked ears. And they belonged to each other, all through the changing seasons. So it looks like the little dog goes on all of her deliveries now. So they both found a friend in this story. What a sweet story. Animals can be our very best friends. And I think, look at the back. Look at the two of them riding their bike together. So cute. So, I hope you enjoyed this story. Bo Round, did you enjoy this story? He is, looks like he's digging a hole where it's a little cooler to lay down in. Well, that little guy's for adoption, so if you're interested, you can tell your parents and they can go to our website, fill out an online application, and we will call you to come meet him. Until next week, we will see you on Wednesday with next week's story time. Have a great night. Bye.